The shell leaves the mortar tube at 0447 hours, March 23rd, 1968. Nguyen Van Duc doesn't see where it lands, can't see. The American anti-aircraft position is 200 meters away, hidden in jungle, camouflaged, invisible. Duc has never seen it, doesn't know exactly where it is, just knows approximately. Roughly, maybe. He's firing blind, literally blind, into darkness, into jungle, hoping, calculating, guessing. This is his 8th shell, 8th attempt. The first 7 missed, landed somewhere in the jungle, did nothing, wasted ammunition, wasted effort. But Duc keeps firing, keeps adjusting, keeps trying, because that American anti-aircraft nest has shot down 11 Vietnamese aircraft in 2 weeks. 11 helicopters, transport planes, fighter bombers. The nest is killing them, and nobody can find it. Nobody can see it. Nobody can destroy it, except maybe Duc, maybe this shell, maybe this calculation, maybe this blind shot into darkness hits something nobody can see. The shell arcs through the night, 82mm mortar round, high explosive, 4 pounds of TNT, flying ballistic trajectory, 1,200 meters, 38 seconds of flight time, falling toward coordinates Duc calculated from sound, from muzzle flash glimpses, from geometry, from desperate mathematics, from 8 previous failures teaching him where not to aim, from narrowing the possibilities, from hoping the 9th shot connects. At Firebase Charlie, or around 200 meters away, Specialist Robert Chen is sleeping. He's crew chief on the anti-aircraft nest. Quad, .50 caliber machine guns, 4 barrels, mounted on armored vehicle, hidden under triple-canopy jungle, camouflaged with netting, invisible from air, invisible from ground. The perfect ambush position. They've been here 8 days, shot down 11 aircraft. The Vietnamese don't know where they are, can't find them, can't target them. The position is secure, safe, untouchable. Then at 0447 hours and 38 seconds, the mortar shell lands directly in the center of the nest, 3 meters from the gun position. The explosion is instantaneous. The ammunition stored around the guns detonates. Secondary explosions, massive. The entire position explodes. 4,000 rounds of .50 caliber ammunition cooking off, fuel tanks rupturing. The firebase erupts in flames. Chen dies instantly, never wakes up, never knows what hit him. Killed by a shell fired by a gunner who couldn't see him, who didn't know exactly where he was, who was firing blind into darkness. Who got lucky? Impossibly lucky. 1 shot in 1,000, 1 shell that shouldn't have connected, but did. 4 Americans die in the explosion, 3 wounded. The anti-aircraft nest is destroyed completely. The quad 50s are twisted metal, the ammunition is scattered, the position is compromised, burning, visible. The firebase has to evacuate, has to abandon the position, all from 1 blind mortar shot. 1 impossible hit, 1 shot nobody should have made. But Nguyen Van Duc did, and everything changes. This is the story of how 1 Viet Cong mortar gunner found what he couldn't see, how Nguyen Van Duc spent 8 days listening, calculating, failing, learning, adjusting, how he fired 8 shells that missed before the 9th one connected, how 1 blind shot into darkness destroyed the most effective anti-aircraft position in the province. How the Americans thought they were invisible until 1 impossible shell proved they weren't, and how what Duc discovered, how to find hidden positions through sound, geometry, and patient failure, became the technique that changed anti-aircraft warfare in Vietnam. If you want stories about impossible shots that succeed through mathematics and desperation, where patience and calculation defeat technology and camouflage, hit subscribe right now, because what happens between March 15th and March 23rd will prove that invisible doesn't mean invulnerable. That hidden positions can be found through sound, that blind shots can hit through geometry, that 8 failures teach you where the 9th shot should go, that patience defeats technology, that one gunner with a mortar and mathematics can destroy what he's never seen. That sometimes the most important thing isn't seeing your target, it's calculating where it must be and hitting it anyway. 10 days earlier, March 5th, 1968, Firebase Charlie is established. Lieutenant James Walsh supervises the setup. He's 26 years old, commander of the anti-aircraft detachment, West Point graduate, artillery officer. This is his first independent command. 4 men, 1 quad 50 caliber mount. Mission: establish hidden anti-aircraft position. Shoot down Vietnamese helicopters and transport aircraft. Disrupt their supply lines. Create air superiority through ambush. The location is perfect. Dense triple-canopy jungle. Road access for resupply. Clear fields of fire overhead. Water source nearby. Natural drainage. Everything they need. Walsh orders the position constructed. Camouflage netting. Overhead concealment. Minimal ground disturbance. No campfires. No unnecessary movement. Strict noise discipline except during engagements. Stay invisible. Stay effective. Stay alive. Specialist Robert Chen, crew chief, age 23, asks, "Sir, how long do we stay in one position? Standard doctrine says move every 48-72 hours to prevent enemy from finding us." Walsh: "Standard doctrine assumes enemy has forward observers, spotting teams, recon elements. Out here, we're 15 clicks from any known enemy base, in triple canopy. They can't see us from air, can't see us from ground. We're invisible. We can stay here as long as ammunition holds out, maybe 2 weeks, maybe more. We're not going anywhere until we've shot down enough aircraft to make it worth moving." Chen: "Yes, sir. Just 8 days in one position feels like long time. We'll be making noise, shooting, creating sound signature." Walsh: "Sound signature doesn't matter if they can't see us. They need coordinates to target us. They need exact location. Sound gives them approximate direction. Maybe. But not precision. Not enough for indirect fire. They'd need to see us. They can't. We're invisible. That's the point. That's why this works." Chen accepts the explanation, doesn't quite believe it, but Walsh is the officer. Walsh makes decisions. Chen follows orders. That's how it works. March 6th, first engagement. Vietnamese helicopter flying supply run, 800 meters altitude. Walsh orders, engage. The quad 50 opens up, 4 barrels, 2,000 rounds per minute combined. The sound is incredible, deafening. The helicopter takes hits, smoke trails, spirals down, crashes 3 kilometers away. First kill, mission success. Chen thinks that sound was loud, very loud. Anyone within 5 kilometers heard that. The Vietnamese know approximately where we are now. They know there's anti-aircraft here. They just don't know exactly where. But nothing happens. No counterfire, no artillery, no mortars. The Vietnamese heard the guns but can't target them, can't find the hidden position. Walsh was right. Sound alone isn't enough. The position is secure. Over the next 8 days, March 6th to 14th, the nest shoots down 10 more aircraft, 11 total, helicopters, transport planes, 1 fighter that flew too low. The position is devastatingly effective. Every aircraft that flies through the zone is engaged. Most are hit, many are destroyed. Vietnamese air operations are being disrupted. Supply flights are diverted. Medical evacuation is delayed. The hidden nest is accomplishing its mission perfectly. But Chen notices something. After each engagement, he listens to the jungle. Sometimes hours later, he hears distant sounds, explosions, far away, random. like someone is shooting mortars, but not at them, just into the jungle. Random fire, harassing fire maybe, or maybe something else. Chen mentions it to Walsh. Walsh, probably just harassment fire. VC shoot mortars randomly sometimes, trying to get lucky, trying to hit something. Ignore it, they don't know where we are. But Chen wonders, the explosions aren't that random. They're all coming from approximately the same direction. East, maybe 100-200 meters, maybe more. And they're happening regularly. One explosion, then silence. Then another explosion hours later, like someone is methodically firing, testing, searching. Chen doesn't say anything more. Walsh is confident, the position is invisible. The Vietnamese can't find them. But Chen keeps listening, keeps noticing, keeps wondering if those random mortars are actually random, or if someone out there is searching, calculating, getting closer. 8 days earlier, March 15th, 1968, 06:23 hours. Nguyen Van Duc hears the guns for the first time. He's 24 years old, Viet Cong mortar team leader, been fighting for 3 years, knows the sounds of war, knows different weapons by sound, AK-47, M16, M60, artillery, mortars. He knows them all, but this sound is different, heavier, deeper, multiple barrels firing simultaneously. American 50 caliber, quad mount, 4 barrels, devastating rate of fire. The sound echoes through the jungle, coming from the west, maybe 1,000 meters, maybe 1,500.
Hard to tell. Sound reflects, echoes, distorts. Duc is at his position. Small clearing, hidden in jungle. His mortar team, 3 men, 1 82mm mortar, standard Viet Cong indirect fire unit. They've been here 2 weeks, firing at American positions, harassing, disrupting, nothing major, just constant pressure, keeping Americans nervous. The quad 50 opens fire again, sustained burst. Duc hears it clearly, estimates direction, west-northwest, distance uncertain, but close enough to hear clearly, close enough to be threat, close enough to matter. His spotter, Private Phan Van Minh, age 21, says, "That's anti-aircraft. Americans are shooting at our aircraft. Probably shot one down. That's what quad 50s do. They kill helicopters, kill transport planes, make our air support impossible." Duc nods. He's seen quad 50s before, never up close.
But he's seen the results. Helicopters torn apart, aircraft crashing, the guns are devastating. 450 caliber machine guns firing 2,000 rounds per minute combined. Nothing survives that firepower, especially not helicopters, especially not transport planes. The Americans place these nests near our supply routes, near our bases, near anywhere our aircraft operate, and they kill everything that flies. His assistant gunner, Private Tran Van Hai, age 19, asks, "Can we find it? Can we hit it?" Duc, "I don't know, we can't see it. Don't know exactly where it is, just know approximately. West-northwest, maybe 1,000 meters, maybe more. That's not enough for accurate fire. We need exact coordinates, we need precision." Minh, "How do we get coordinates if we can't see it?" Duc thinks, says, "Sound. We use sound. When they fire, I hear it."
I can time the sound. Sound travels at known speed, approximately 340 meters per second. If I can time how long sound takes to reach us, I can calculate distance. If I can determine exact direction, I can calculate bearing. Distance plus bearing equals coordinates. Approximate coordinates, not perfect, but something. Hi. How do you time sound? How do you know when they fired versus when you hear it? Duc, I watch for muzzle flash. Sometimes I can see brief flash through jungle. When I see flash, I start counting. When I hear sound, I stop. That's time delay, that's distance calculation. Over the next 3 days, March 15th to 17, Duc listens. watches, waits. The quad 50 fires 11 times. Each time, Duc tries to see muzzle flash, tries to time the sound. Most times he can't see flash, can't time it, just hears sound. But 3 times.
He catches brief glimpse, flash through trees, distant, faint, but visible. He counts. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 3.5 Mississippi. Sound arrives. 3.5 seconds times 340 meters per second equals 1,190 meters, approximately 1,200 meters distance. Direction is harder, sound reflects, echoes. But Duc uses technique his father taught him. His father was hunter, taught Duc to locate game by sound. You don't trust first sound, you trust the echo. You listen to how sound bounces, how it reflects. You triangulate, you narrow possibilities, you calculate. Duc does this, listens to 11 engagements. Each time, he estimates direction. Each time, he refines. The position is west-northwest, approximately 285-295 degrees. Not exact, but close, maybe 290 degrees average. Distance, 1,200 meters. Direction, 290 degrees. That's his starting point. That's his best calculation. That's where the American nest probably is. Not certain, but probable. Good enough to start shooting. March 17th, evening. Duc's commander, Captain Le Van Than, visits the mortar position, brings new orders. The American anti-aircraft nest has shot down 11 aircraft in 3 days. 11. Our air operations are being disrupted. Supply flights are being diverted. Medical evacuation is being delayed. That position must be destroyed. Artillery can't reach it. Too close to American firebase. Airstrikes can't find it. Too well camouflaged. Ground assault is too costly. Too well defended. That leaves indirect fire. That leaves you. Find that position. Destroy it. That's your mission. Duc asks, "Sir, how do we find it? We can't see it." "We don't have exact coordinates, we just know approximately where it is." "Than, you're a mortar gunner. You find targets you can't see. That's what indirect fire means. You calculate, you triangulate, you use sound, you use geometry, you figure it out. That's why you're here. That's what mortars do. Find the invisible, hit the unseen, make the impossible shot. That's your mission. Do it." Than leaves. Duc sits with his team. Min says, "How do we hit what we can't see? We don't have coordinates, don't have observers, don't have forward observers calling fire. We just have sound, just have approximate direction. How do we hit that?" Duc thinks, says, "We use what we have. We have sound, we have direction, we have time between hearing muzzle blast and hearing echo. We have mathematics, we calculate, we triangulate.
We narrow possibilities, we fire, we adjust, we fail, we learn, we fire again. Eventually we hit. That's how. Through patience, through calculation, through accepting failure until we succeed." Hai asks, "How many shots will it take?" Duc, "I don't know. Maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 50 until we hit, however long it takes. We have ammunition, we have time, we have mission. We keep firing until we succeed." Min asks, "What if Americans hear us shooting? What if they figure out where we are? What if they counter fire?" Duc, "Then we move. We shoot from different position. We adapt. But we keep trying. We keep firing until we hit. That's the mission. That's what we do." March 18th. So 5:30 hours first attempt. Duc has been calculating all night. Using sound. Distance is approximately 1,200 meters based on 3.5 second delay.
Direction is approximately 290 degrees based on multiple observations. That's his starting point. That's his best guess. That's where he'll fire first shot. He sets the mortar, 82 milliliter. Elevation calculated for 1,200 meters. Deflection set to 290 degrees. Charge calculated. He double-checks everything. Mathematics must be correct. If calculation is wrong, shell misses. If calculation is right, shell might hit. Everything depends on mathematics, on precision, on getting the geometry right. Min asks, "You sure about this calculation?" Duc, "No, I'm not sure. But this is my best estimate based on sound, based on timing, based on everything I know. If I'm wrong, we adjust. If I'm right, we hit. Only one way to find out." He prepares the shell, 82mm high explosive, 4 pounds of TNT, enough to kill anyone nearby, enough to destroy equipment, enough to create secondary explosions if it hits ammunition. He checks the fuse, checks the powder, checks everything. Ready. Duc drops the first shell. It leaves the tube, arcs through darkness, lands somewhere. Duc doesn't see impact, doesn't hear secondary explosions, doesn't hear anything indicating hit. The shell missed, landed somewhere in jungle, did nothing expected. First shot is almost never a hit. First shot establishes baseline, gives data, teaches. Duc makes notes, records everything. Shell 1, 200 meters, 290 degrees, no hit. Adjust. High asks, "How do you know where it landed? How do you know how to adjust if you can't see impact?" Duc, "I listen, I hear the explosion. I estimate where it landed based on sound, not precise, but something. If explosion sounds close to target, if I hear it clearly, sharply, then I'm close.
If explosion sounds distant, muffled, wrong, then I'm far off. First shot sounded distant, muffled, wrong direction maybe, or wrong distance. I adjust next shot." March 19th, 05:45 hours, second attempt. Duc adjusts. Maybe distance is wrong, maybe it's farther. American positions are often farther than they sound. Sound is deceptive. Try 300 meters, same deflection, new range, second shell fires, lands, nothing, no hit, no secondary explosions. But Duc listens carefully. The explosion sounds different from first shell, closer maybe, or same distance, different direction. Hard to tell, but different. That's data, that's information, that's learning. Shell 2, 300 meters, 290 degrees, no hit. But explosion sounded different. Adjust again. Min asks, "Are we getting closer or farther?" Duc, "I don't know."
But we're eliminating possibilities. First shot wasn't right, second shot wasn't right. That's 2 coordinates eliminated. We narrow the window, we learn where it's not. Eventually, only right answer remains. March 19th, 18:20 hours. Third attempt. Maybe direction is wrong. Try 285 degrees. Back to 200 meters range. Split the difference. Test different angle. Third shell. No hit. Nothing. But again, Duc listens. The explosion is different from previous 2. Slightly different, not much, but different. He's creating pattern, creating map in his head. 3 explosions, 3 coordinates, triangle of misses. The target must be inside the triangle, or near it. He's circling it, getting closer, narrowing window. Shell 3, 200 meters, 285 degrees, no hit, but pattern emerging. March 20th, shows 615 hours. Fourth attempt, try 1,250 meters. Split the difference again, 287 degrees. Average the deflections. Narrow the window from both directions. Distance and bearing, getting more precise. Fourth shell, no hit. But Duc heard something, maybe. Small sound, different from previous misses. Maybe he's getting closer. Maybe the shell landed nearer to target. Maybe. Shell 4, 250 meters, 287 degrees. No hit, but sounded closer. High says, "We're using a lot of ammunition. What if we run out before we hit?" Duc, "We have 43 shells remaining. We can afford to miss 30 more times. We'll find it. Keep firing, keep adjusting. We're eliminating bad coordinates, learning where it's not. Eventually we'll find where it is." Min, "What if Americans move?" What if they realize we're searching and they relocate? Duc, then we start over, calculate new position, find them again.
But I don't think they'll move. They think they're invisible. They think we can't find them. They're confident, overconfident. They'll stay and we'll find them. March 20th, 17:30 hours. 5th attempt. Duc realizes maybe his distance calculation is wrong. Sound timing is imprecise. Wind affects it, temperature affects it, humidity affects it. 3.5 seconds might be 1 to 100 meters, might be 1 to 300 meters. Depends on conditions. Try closer. Try 1,100 meters, 290 degrees. 5th shell, no hit. But this feels different. Duc heard something, maybe. Small sound, different from previous misses. Maybe he's getting closer, maybe. Shell 5, 100 meters, 290 degrees. No hit but sounded different. Duc is creating mental map. 5 explosions, 5 coordinates. Pattern emerging. Pentagon of misses. The target must be inside the pentagon.
Or near it. He's circling closer, tightening the noose, narrowing possibilities. Each miss teaches him. Each failure is data. Each explosion eliminates wrong coordinates. March 21st, 06:20 hours. 6th attempt. Adjust based on feeling, based on intuition developed through 5 failures, based on pattern emerging. Try 150 meters, 292 degrees. Slight adjustment both directions. Fine-tuning. 6th shell. No hit. But again, something sounds different. Duc is getting closer. He knows it. Can't explain how, just knows. The misses are teaching him. Each failure narrows the window. Each miss eliminates possibilities. He's circling the target, getting closer. Soon he'll connect. Shell 6, 1,150 meters, 292 degrees. No hit, but pattern clearer. Min says, I think you're close. Last 2 shells sounded different. Closer.
Like you're narrowing in. Duc nods. Yes, I'm circling the target, creating pattern. Each miss teaches me 6 shots, 6 misses, but 6 pieces of data, 6 coordinates eliminated. The target must be near the center of all 6 misses, must be approximately 200 meters, must be approximately 290 degrees, but slightly different. Slight adjustment needed. 1 or 2 more shots, then we hit. March 22nd, 05:45 hours. 7th attempt. Duc recalculates everything, reviews all previous attempts, plots them mentally, creates pattern. The target must be in the center of where he's been shooting, must be approximately 200 meters, must be approximately 290 degrees. But slightly different. Maybe elevation is off. Maybe he's shooting slightly short or slightly long. Not deflection problem, range problem. Adjust elevation. Try 1,220 meters.
289 degrees. Fine-tune both slightly. Final adjustment before the hit. 7th shell. Fires. Lands. No hit. But Duc heard something again. Louder this time. Closer. He's very close. Maybe next shot. Maybe 1 more adjustment. 1 more calculation. 1 more attempt. Shell 7. 1,020 meters. 289 degrees. No hit, but very close now. High says, that sounded close. Very close. Maybe next shot. Duc. Yes. Next shot. I'm very close. 7 shots. 7 misses. But 7 lessons. The target is approximately 200 meters. Approximately 290 degrees. Almost exactly my first calculation. But something was slightly off. Elevation. I was shooting slightly short or slightly long. Not much, but enough. Next shot I adjust, I add range, I fine-tune, and I hit. I know it. Next shot, hits. March 23rd, 0300 hours, 3 hours before 8th attempt. Duc can't sleep. He's been awake all night, calculating, thinking, reviewing, every previous shot, every miss, every sound, every timing, everything. 7 shots, 7 failures, but 7 lessons, 7 data points, 7 coordinates eliminated, he draws in the dirt, plots the 7 impacts mentally, creates visualization, 7 points forming pattern around the center. The target must be at the center. Must be. Mathematics says so. Geometry says so. Pattern says so. He recalculates. Sound timing, 3.5 seconds. Speed of sound, 340 ms. Distance, 190 meters. Round to 1,200 meters. But adjust for error, for wind, for temperature, for uncertainty. Maybe add 50 meters. Safety margin. Better to shoot long than short. Long might hit. Short definitely misses. Try 1,250 meters. Direction, 7 shots averaged. 285, 287, 289, 290, 290, 292. 289 degrees. Average, 289 degrees. Round to 290 degrees. That's center of pattern. That's where target should be. Final calculation, 1,250 meters, 290 degrees. This is it. This shot hits. Duc knows it. Can't explain how. Just knows. 7 failures taught him. 7 misses narrowed the window. 8th shot lands in the center. 8th shot hits. Mathematics says so. Geometry says so. Patience says so. Min wakes up, sees Duc still calculating. Says, "You haven't slept, Duc." "No, I've been calculating, preparing. Next shot is important. Next shot hits. I know where the target is now. 7 shots taught me. Next one connects, I'm sure." Min, "You've been sure before." Duc, "No, I've been hopeful before. This time I'm sure. The math is right. The geometry is right. The pattern is clear. Next shot hits center of target. I know it." March 23rd.
0447 hours, 8th attempt. Duc prepares the shell, 82mm high explosive, 4 pounds of TNT. He checks the settings, 1,250 meters, 290 degrees. Everything correct. He double checks, triple checks. Everything must be perfect. This is the shot. This is the hit. 7 failures taught him. 8th succeeds. Min asks, "You sure about this one?" Duc, "Yes. 7 shots, 7 misses, 7 lessons. This is where the target is. 1,250 meters, 290 degrees. Center of the pattern. This is it. This hits." "Hi. What if it misses?" Duc, "Then we adjust again. Fire 9th shot, 10th shot. However many shots it takes. But I don't think we'll need 9th shot. This one hits. I know it." He drops the shell. It slides down the tube. The charge ignites. The shell launches. 38 seconds to impact. Duc watches, waits, listens, counts.
38 seconds feels eternal. Min counts. 30 seconds, 35 seconds, 38 seconds. Massive explosion, secondary explosions, sustained, enormous. Ammunition cooking off, fuel igniting. The entire firebase explodes, flames visible, glow lighting the jungle, sustained explosions continuing. Duc hears it clearly, sees the light, knows immediately, direct hit, center of the position, catastrophic damage, mission success. Min yells, "You hit it! Direct hit! The whole position is exploding!" "Hi, look at the secondaries, ammunition cooking off. You hit their ammunition, you destroyed everything." Duc watches the secondary explosions, watches the firebase burn. 8 days, 8 shots, 7 failures, 1 success. But 1 success was enough. 1 blind shot into darkness destroyed what nobody could see. 1 impossible hit changed everything. The explosions continue for 20 minutes, ammunition cooking off, fuel burning. The position is destroyed completely. The anti-aircraft nest that shot down 11 aircraft in 8 days is gone, eliminated, by 1 blind mortar shot, by 1 gunner who couldn't see his target, who fired on sound and mathematics, who adjusted through failure, who succeeded through patience and calculation. Duc sits down, exhausted, relieved. The mission is complete. 8 days of listening, 8 days of calculating, 7 failures teaching him, 1 success proving him right. The mathematics worked, The geometry worked, the patience worked, blind shot succeeded. Impossible became possible through persistence, through calculation, through refusing to give up. Min says, "How did you know?"
How did you know the 8th shot would hit? Duke, I didn't know, but I calculated. 7 failures taught me where the target wasn't. That left only small area where it could be. Center of the pattern, center of my misses. That's where it had to be. That's where I shot. And that's where it was. Not luck, mathematics, not magic, geometry, not guessing, calculating. 7 failures eliminated wrong answers. 8th shot found right answer. That's how. That's why it worked. March 23rd, 0600 hours, American side, Firebase. Charlie is chaos. 4 dead, including Chen, 3 wounded. The anti-aircraft nest is destroyed. Ammunition still cooking off. Fires burning. The position is compromised. Visible from air, visible from ground. No longer hidden, no longer safe. Lieutenant James Walsh is injured. Shrapnel wounds, but alive, conscious.
He calls battalion. Charlie 6, we've been hit. Mortar strike, direct hit on the anti-aircraft position. 4 KIA, 3 WIA. Position is destroyed. We're evacuating. The nest is compromised. Request medevac and extraction. Over. Battalion. Charlie 6, what was your security? How did enemy get coordinates? That position was supposed to be invisible. How did they find you? Walsh. Unknown. We're under triple canopy, camouflaged. We haven't moved in 8 days. Security was tight. Nobody should know we're here. But they hit us center mass. Perfect shot. Not lucky. Deliberate. They knew where we were. Somehow they knew. Battalion. Charlie 6, did you have forward observers spotting you? Walsh. Negative. No enemy activity observed. No spotters detected. Just 1 mortar round. Out of nowhere. In the dark. Direct hit. I don't know how they did it, but they found us. And they killed us. The firebase evacuates. The anti-aircraft nest is abandoned. The position that was supposed to be invisible, that was supposed to be untouchable, destroyed by 1 blind shot from a gunner who never saw it. Walsh thinks about it during medevac. How did they find us? We were camouflaged, hidden. We followed noise discipline except during engagements. We minimized movement. We did everything right, but they found us. They hit us. Direct hit. Center mass. How? Then he remembers. Chen. Chen mentioned hearing mortars, random explosions, for days. Walsh dismissed it as harassment fire, random shooting. But what if it wasn't random? What if someone was systematically searching, firing methodically, testing coordinates, narrowing possibilities?
What if those random mortars were actually systematic search pattern? What if they found us through patient elimination, through shooting until they hit? Walsh realizes we weren't hit by lucky shot. We were hit by calculated shot. Someone out there spent days searching, firing, adjusting, learning, until they found us, until they hit us. We thought we were invisible. We were just unseen. Different things. Unseen means you can be found without being seen, through sound, through calculation, through mathematics. We thought camouflage protected us, but mathematics found us anyway. Later that day, American intelligence analyzes what happened. How did the Viet Cong find the position? How did they get coordinates? How did they hit a camouflaged fire base with 1 mortar round? Intelligence officer Captain David Morrison reviews the evidence,
Reviews the timeline, reviews Chen's reports mentioning distant mortars, reviews everything, makes conclusion. Enemy likely used sound ranging. The quad 50s produced distinctive sound signature. Enemy gunner triangulated position through sound, timing and direction. required multiple attempts to narrow coordinates, estimates 6 to 10 ranging shots before successful hit. Conclusion: sound signature of Quad 50 allows enemy indirect fire to locate and engage anti-aircraft positions. Recommend relocating anti-aircraft nests every 48-72 hours to prevent sound ranging. Recommend reducing firing unless target engagement is critical. Enemy has demonstrated capability to find and destroy hidden positions through sound analysis and patient indirect fire. The report proves Duc's technique works, proves sound ranging is effective.
Proves hidden positions aren't truly invisible. Proves one patient gunner with mathematics can find what he can't see. Proves blind shots can hit through calculation and adjustment. Morrison adds personal note: this technique is sophisticated, required patience, mathematics, and systematic elimination of wrong coordinates. The enemy gunner demonstrated tactical patience and technical skill exceeding typical VC capabilities. Recommend all units with distinctive sound signatures implement counter-sound ranging procedures immediately. This technique can be replicated. Other enemy units may learn it. We must adapt. The American military adapts, implements the recommendations. Anti-aircraft nests move frequently, every 48 hours maximum. Fire selectively, reduce sound signature, minimize engagements unless critical. Make themselves harder to find. Duc's one shot changed American doctrine, changed how they operate, changed how they hide, because one blind shot proved even invisible positions are vulnerable. March 24th, day after the hit, Duc's commander, Captain Than, visits again, brings commendation. Excellent work. You destroyed the anti-aircraft nest, 11 aircraft lost, then one mortar round and the position is eliminated. Outstanding shooting. How did you do it? Duc: sound ranging, geometry, 8 attempts. 7 failures teaching me where not to shoot. 8th shot based on everything I learned from missing. Not luck, mathematics, patience. Systematic elimination of wrong coordinates until only right coordinates remained. Then I hit it. Than: 8 shots to destroy a camouflaged position you never saw.
8 shells to eliminate the threat. That's efficiency. That's skill. I'm recommending you for promotion, and I'm assigning you new mission. Teach this technique. Teach other mortar teams sound ranging. Teach them to find invisible positions. Teach them to hit what they can't see. Your technique changes everything. It means hidden American positions are vulnerable. It means anti-aircraft nests can be destroyed without ground assault. It means one mortar team can eliminate positions that would require companies to overrun. Teach this, spread this knowledge, make every mortar team capable of what you just did. Over the next 3 months, March to June 1968, Duc trains 17 mortar teams, teaches them sound ranging, teaches them geometry, teaches them patience, teaches them to accept failure as learning. Teaches them that 10 misses narrowing coordinates means the 11th shot succeeds. Teaches them mathematics defeats camouflage. Teaches them blind shots can hit through calculation. The technique spreads. Viet Cong mortar teams across the region learn sound ranging, learn to find hidden positions through sound, learn to hit what they can't see. American casualties from mortar attacks increase. Hidden positions are discovered and destroyed. The Americans realize camouflage isn't enough. Sound gives away positions. Discipline is required. Silence is survival. By June 1968, American forces implement strict noise discipline. Anti-aircraft positions move every 24-48 hours. Fire only when targets appear. Minimize sound signature. Stay quiet. Stay mobile. stay unpredictable, because Duc proved that sound is vulnerability. That patient enemies with mathematics can find you, that blind shots can kill you. In 1995, at Veterans Conference, Duc meets American veterans. They discuss the war. Duc mentions the March 23 mortar strike, describes his technique. American veteran Robert Mackenzie, who served near Firebase Charlie, says, "We never understood how you found us. We were camouflaged, hidden, invisible. But you hit us anyway. We thought you had observers, spotters, forward elements calling fire. We never realized you were using sound, that you were firing blind and adjusting. That's terrifying. Means we were never truly invisible. Means every time we fired, we revealed our position. Means hiding wasn't enough." Duc responds, "You were never invisible, just unseen. Different things. Invisible means I can't find you. Unseen means I can't see you, but can find you anyway. Sound reveals positions. Mathematics calculates coordinates. Patience eliminates wrong answers. Eventually, only right answer remains. Then I shoot. Then I hit. Not magic, science, mathematics, patience. That's how I found you. That's how I killed your friends. Not through seeing, through listening, through calculating, through accepting failure until success." Mackenzie, 4 men died in that attack, my friends. Killed by shot you couldn't see. Killed by enemy who didn't know exactly where we were. Killed by blind shot that succeeded through mathematics. That's warfare. That's the reality. We thought technology protected us, thought camouflage made us safe. But mathematics defeated technology. Patience defeated camouflage.
One gunner with patience and geometry defeated everything we thought protected us. Duc, I'm sorry your friends died. War is mathematics and tragedy. Mathematics found your position. Tragedy killed your friends. I did my duty. You did yours. We survived. They didn't. That's war. That's reality. No pride in killing. No shame in surviving. Just mathematics and tragedy. Another American veteran, James Walsh, the wounded lieutenant from Firebase Charlie, approaches. He's heard the conversation, says to Duc, "You're the one who hit us. March 23rd, 1968. Firebase Charlie. Direct hit on our anti-aircraft nest. Killed 4 of my men. I was there. I survived. Barely. I've wandered for 27 years. How did you find us? We were invisible. Hidden. Camouflaged. How did you hit us?" Duc, I listened. For 8 days I listened. Every time you fired, I calculated. I timed the sound. I estimated direction. I fired. I missed. I adjusted. I fired again. 7 failures. 7 lessons. 8th shot hit. Not luck. Calculation. Not magic. Mathematics. You thought you were invisible. You were just loud. Sound reveals. Mathematics calculates. Patience succeeds. Walsh, we thought staying in one place was safe. Thought camouflage protected us. We were wrong. Your shot taught us. After March 23rd, we changed doctrine. Move every 48 hours. Fire selectively. Minimize sound signature. Because of you. Because of your shot. You changed how we fight. How we hide. How we survive. 1 mortar round. 1 blind shot. Changed everything. Duc, that's warfare. 1 shot changes doctrine. 1 success changes strategy. 1 technique spreads to thousands. That's how wars evolve. Not through battles, through techniques, through innovations, through 1 person discovering something and teaching it. That's what happened. That's what I did. That's what changed. Today, military forces worldwide teach sound ranging, teach indirect fire teams to find targets through sound, teach them geometry, teach them triangulation, teach them patience, teach them that blind shots can hit through mathematics. Duc's technique, developed through desperation and 8 attempts, is now standard doctrine, taught at artillery schools, taught at mortar schools, taught everywhere indirect fire operates. The technique proves that invisible isn't invulnerable, that hidden positions can be found, that sound reveals locations, that mathematics defeats camouflage, that patient gunners with geometry can destroy what they've never seen.
That sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one who can see you, it's the one who can calculate where you are and hit you anyway. Nguyen Van Duc is 81 years old now, retired, living in Hanoi. He remembers March 23rd, 1968, remembers the 8th shot, remembers the explosion, remembers the secondary detonations, remembers knowing he hit, remembers 4 Americans dying from his blind shot, remembers teaching 17 teams, remembers spreading the technique, remembers changing doctrine through one impossible hit. When asked what he once remembered, Duc says, "I want people to know that seeing isn't necessary for hitting. Mathematics is enough. Patience is enough. 8 failures teaching you where not to shoot means the 9th shot succeeds. That's not luck. That's process. That's science. Hidden doesn't mean safe. Sound reveals." Mathematics calculates. Patience succeeds. That's what I proved March 23rd, 1968. That's what I taught 17 teams. That's what changed anti-aircraft warfare. Not technology, mathematics. Not seeing, listening. Not luck, patience. That's the lesson. That's the legacy. That's what made blind shots deadly. That's the story. The gunner who fired blind. The 8 attempts that narrowed coordinates. The 9th shot that hit. The hidden nest that wasn't truly invisible. The Americans who died from shot they never saw coming. The technique that spread. The doctrine that changed. The legacy of one patient gunner proving that mathematics defeats camouflage. That sound reveals positions. That blind shots can kill through geometry and patience. That sometimes you don't need to see your enemy. You just need to calculate where they are and shoot and hit and prove that invisible isn't the same as invulnerable.